Danielle, how are you?
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, how have you been?
I've been good. I've had a lot going on. I've been stressed, but I've been good.
All right, that's good. Did you want to speak about anything specific today?
I guess we could talk about kind of my mood has not been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing, and now it's not amazing, and I don't know what happened.
Okay. Do you remember when it became unamazing?
Probably a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it's because the weather changed and it got colder, or just I have a ton going on, so I'm stressed. I kind of never see my friends, and I never really have time for myself, so I'm wondering if that has to do with it.
Do you know when the last time you spent time with your friends?
I went out with them on Friday, but I had fun. It was fun, but I was exhausted. I had a really busy week, and Friday I came home. I went to work. I came home from work, and I went right out with them. So I was kind of exhausted, even though I did have fun and I did see them, but
So do you feel like you actually wanted to go?
I did want to go. I did. It's just I feel like I would have been happier if I wasn't as tired and stressed.
Yeah.
Because that week was insane. I had work all day Wednesday, class Wednesday night, came home, had my internship Thursday, then right after my internship I went to work until like 11. Then I came home, I woke up, I went to work again, and then
For Friday.
Yes. And then I went right out, and then Saturday I came home, and then I had work again.
So you went out, and then Saturday you came home. So you spent the night out on Friday.
I came home, but I spent the night at home. But I don't know why I said that. I spent the night at home, but like Saturday I woke up and went right back to work. So I feel like
Ongoing.
yes.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Energizer Bunny.
Yes. I haven't had like 1 second to like, and then I find myself staying up later than I should be because I know I have something to do the next day because I have no time to myself. So I stay up a little bit later just to have some time to relax.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm tired the next day, and it's just kind of like a
ongoing cycle.
Yeah.
Do you, as soon as like you do have that enough of your you time, are you able to sleep?
So actually, what happens is I end up just getting really tired, and then I just fall asleep. I end up like not having really a satisfying amount of time for myself. I kind of force myself to stay up a little bit later than I should because I feel tired. I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I want to watch this. I want to do all these things that I didn't get to do for the past couple days because I haven't had a second. So yeah, I end up falling asleep just because I'm exhausted.
Yeah. And then do you feel refreshed in the morning?
Not really, but I don't know if I've ever really felt that way. Yeah, I'm not really a morning person, especially when I have to get up early and like I have to set my alarm. Like if I have to be woken up by my alarm, I'm not gonna feel good. Like I just never do.
When was the last time that you had to be that you weren't woken up by your alarm?
Today.
Oh.
Today was like the first time in like 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Felt good?
Nice. Yes, but I woke up and I knew I had a ton of work to do today anyway. I just didn't have to set an alarm to be anywhere. So I woke up and I was like still kind of tired. I was like I could sleep for a little bit longer, but it was already 9 o'clock and I was like I have like 3 papers to do, ton of work for my internship and just like a lot of stuff. I have to go to school. So
what was your stress level at when you woke up at 9 a.m.? Was it at a like from between 0 being low and 10 to being high?
It was pretty high. I would say it was probably an 8 because when I woke up this morning, I also was anticipating on having work all day tomorrow, so I wouldn't have time to finish anything that's due tomorrow. I'd have to do it all today, which is a lot. But as the day progressed, I procrastinated, which stressed me out more because I was losing time that I didn't have to begin with. But then I found out that my shift tomorrow actually got covered. So now I do have a little extra time, so that was a bit of a relief.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to be up early now tomorrow either.
So you get to sleep in again?
Yes, which is nice. And I feel like I did that just because I needed time for me.
That's good. That's good that you recognize that, though, when you
Yeah.
put that time aside. And it's a difference when you know you're getting to that point,
Yeah.
But when you have no idea you're getting to that point and you just keep going, and your self-care just keeps getting lower and lower and lower, eventually you will burn out and you can have a lot more negative symptoms. So I'm very proud of you for having that insight.
Yeah. I think I let it get too far, and I think I knew it was happening. I knew I was putting too much pressure on myself, and I just had too much to do. But there wasn't really any way I could get out of anything that I had to do. So I kind of just kept going, and I think that's when my mood started getting worse because I knew I'm not going to have a break anytime soon, and I really need one, but there's no time for one, so I just have to keep going. And, work, school, internship, that's all kind of difficult stuff, so it's not that I don't enjoy it, but it's stressful. So, and that's all I'm doing.
Yeah. When you're I'm sorry to cut you off. When
That's
you're
okay.
in school, are you stressed? Like when you're physically sitting in class?
No, not when I'm physically there.
When you're at your internship, are you stressed?
Yes.
From 0 to 10, can you tell me?
Well, lately it's been kind of a 10 because I've had to run group.
And you've never done that before?
No. And I wasn't really prepared to do it, and they kind of just told me I'm going to do it, and I was like, okay. And
what were the thoughts that were running through your mind when they told you were going to do it?
I was like, I'm not ready. There's no possible way I can do this. My skills are not there. I don't even know how, a group works.
Have you ever seen somebody else perform a group with you being there?
So I did observe a few groups, in September. And then I interned at a rehab, so I was in the detox section for 5 weeks. And then I went back into the regular rehab, and that's when I started having to run groups. So it had been a while since I saw them. So I kind of felt out of the loop and stressed, and I kind of had no idea what I was going to do. And I thought I didn't have the skills, but my supervisor and the counselor I'm working with thought I had the skills. So they pushed me to do it, and I ended up doing it, but I was very stressed about it the whole time. So while I was there, while I wasn't there, that's kind of what has been stressing me out for the past 2 weeks.
How much of your internship has pushed onto the rest of your day or your week?
Well, the whole group thing, it's kind of just been all I've been thinking about. I've kind of been thinking, tomorrow I have to do group. 2 days I'm gonna have to do group again.
And when you say that you're gonna have to do group, what are your thoughts that are going with that? It's just thoughts and feelings that come from having to do group by yourself.
Because I don't like doing things I'm not good at, and obviously when you first start doing group, it's just something you have to keep doing to get better at, and I don't like the idea of feeling like I'm doing a bad job and being uncomfortable and kind of not knowing what I'm doing or what I'm talking about. All of that, I just hate it. It makes me anxious.
A little bit of off topic. The people that you're doing group with you said they are in rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And did you also say that you were doing a detox program?
So we have a detox section, which is where I was previously. I just kind of observed there. There wasn't a ton to do.
So you're currently doing a group with people that are enrolled in rehab?
Yes. So they're done detoxing. They're in rehab.
Okay. And do they have any skills or knowledge on psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, or anything like that?
Not a
or
ton.
Any counseling field?
Not a ton, unless they have a counseling background, which actually one of the clients does. But they know a little bit about CBT just from being there and learning about it. But I kind of forget that they don't know as much as I know, and that I feel like they're judging me for what I say, and I feel like I'm saying things, and they're gonna be like, that's not true and that's wrong. But they really don't know.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you recognize that, because they're in there to get help from you.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could be the first day with your LAC and not know anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could walk in there and just put your pants on and act like you know it all, and they will know.
Yes.
I mean, eventually, it doesn't work out for you. You won't have any clients or anything. But it's really great that you care enough to, want to learn, to want to better yourself, to want to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
The one thing that I do want to ask you is, do you think that any type of relaxation techniques would help before you start your group?
Definitely, because my anxiety, honestly, up until now has been almost. I used to have like very, very bad anxiety, and then it got a lot better, and it kind of almost wasn't even there.
Mm-hmm.
And then once this whole thing happened, once I started getting more stressed out, I stopped having time for myself. I stopped seeing my friends. Now I have to run group. My anxiety has been insane. So I think I kind of forget how to relax myself in situations like that because it's been a while. I kind of don't know any coping mechanisms.
Would you want to learn some? Would you want to practice them?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. We could definitely try to work on those feelings that you get and how to calm yourself down right before you do your group. Some of the things that you had mentioned was that you forget that they don't really know that you kind of are still new and you're interning and you don't really know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So having what is it called? A 3-column technique where we talk about your feelings, the thoughts that you go over, and how to calm them down with what I like to do and what helps me, maybe you could try it, is tightening up every muscle in my body and then relaxing and then feeling that pressure releasing. And then you're almost like, oh, I didn't even realize that I was tightening up my body that much prior to that. And you said your anxiety stems a lot from group therapy. So let's actually go over some of the thoughts that occur to you right before you step into your internship or an event that you feel like happens around that stressful time.
Okay, so I guess I'll say the event is I'm running group. So my thought is I kind of just start panicking that I also am not good with talking in front of groups, so that adds to it. And I think I get anxious about becoming anxious, and then so now I'm anxious over being anxious, which is kind of stupid. But
which is the cycle of anxiety.
Yes.
So stage fright. You have a little bit of stage fright.
Yeah.
You are worried about running group. What specifically within running group are you worried about when you get to the front and everybody's sitting around in the circle? What are you feeling, thinking?
I think I'm just worried that I'm not going to be able to entertain them for as long as I need to. And then, so I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to entertain them and make sure I had something to say and that they were interested. But all of that stress is kind of not realistic or rational because that's not really what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm kind of just they're supposed to be doing the talking and I'm just kind of facilitating. But because I get so anxious about not having enough to say, not knowing where the topic's going to go, not knowing if they're going to like it, I end up
a little control there.
Yeah.
You're not in control of how it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like to plan what I'm gonna say. If I have to speak in front of a lot of people, and I can't do that with group. So I kind of struggle with letting it just flow naturally, and because of that, I become super anxious, which makes me less confident with the group, which makes the group not as good as it would be if I had just relaxed. So it's kind of just a giant circle of.
Well, I notice a lot of negativity that you're saying. So you're saying the group isn't going to be as good if you're nervous. Yeah. Obviously, it's the first time you're doing it, so it's not going to come as easy, but practice. But at the same time, I feel like you're focusing so much on what you're going to say and where the topic is going that you're not actually listening to what they're saying. And if you could just, take a step back before you enter the session, take a couple deep breaths. Let's try it together. Okay. Do you like that?
Yeah. Oh, great.
Do you see yourself using some deep breaths before you step in there?
Definitely. I think that would probably be
Some
helpful.
positive self-talk, maybe?
Yeah, I think myself into such like a deep hole of like negativity about how it's gonna go.
Well, how are your grades, if you don't mind me asking, in your school?
They're good. They're fine.
And you have supervision once a month, or
Once a week.
and how does your supervision go with your supervisor?
I do too. I see my supervisor at my internship and at school, and I think they both are going good. My site supervisor is really encouraging me to like do more.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wants me to run the groups, even though I said I feel like I'm not ready. So
have you verbalized that with her?
yes.
And what has she said back to you when you verbalized that you don't feel like you're ready?
She says that it's in my head and that I am ready because the information I, provide during supervision when we have discussions is always pretty good. So I know I have the knowledge. It's just like putting the skills to it.
And how do you think that having the knowledge and putting the skills is going to happen more naturally for you?
I think, which isn't the answer I wanted, but I think it's just going to be doing it. And the more I do it, the more comfortable it'll be.
Yeah. Well, getting back to our thought log, which I feel like verbally through our conversation, we've kind of rationalized some of the negative thoughts that you were going through. But we never really talked about the consequences. So I also want to hear like your behavior and the consequences you feel if the group isn't run if the group isn't run correctly, or if the group isn't as efficient as it needs to be. What do you think the consequences are? How do you react?
Well, I can give an example. Last week I ran a group. I was kind of actually calm before the group. I didn't really know much about the topic we were talking about. I didn't pick it. So my thought before the group was that I'm just gonna kind of wing this and see how it goes. I was a little nervous, but I kind of was thinking I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just gonna try it. So the consequence of that was I wasn't confident in what I was doing, so I felt like the group was bad. I thought it was terrible. I panicked halfway through and wanted to stop, but I kept going.
But those are your thoughts.
Yes.
Actual consequences of repercussion from your site supervisor. Did you get any?
No, the counselor who's observing actually told me she thinks it went fine, but in my head it just seemed so much worse.
So we'll actually get this actually write this down this time so we can really fully get the full grasp of this. So when you were about to go into group alone was the event, right?
Yes.
And you had mentioned your thoughts.
Yes.
Were that they're not going to be good enough? Did you want to add anything else?
My thoughts are just I'm anxious about how it's going to go, what's going to happen, if I'm prepared enough.
Anxious would probably be a little bit more of a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Actual negative thoughts. Do you have any memory of it, or?
Okay, I guess a negative thought would be, I suck. I'm not good at this, and they're gonna hate it.
Okay, that's really opening up to me. I'm really glad that you feel comfortable of actually letting that out. I do feel like it was difficult for you to actually say that, so I think that we're making progress with that. So those thoughts of you feeling like you suck is what leads you to having those anxious feelings.
Yes.
Okay. And so now that we've made the distinction between the two, now to counteract why those feelings and those thoughts are incorrect, would be some of the things that you answered for me today. You are a student. you have 3 site supervisors or 2?
Two, and then I have like a counselor I'm with.
And they all say that you're doing well. The one from your school is contacting the one from your site, and they think that you're doing a wonderful job. Your grades show that you're doing a wonderful job. Has any of the patients or clients there ever came up to you telling you that you suck?
No, it was just that one group. They really seemed uninterested in what I was saying, but I think there was just a lot of factors in that.
Yes.
That wasn't necessarily
they don't want to
just
be there.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. It might not have anything to do with you.
Yeah. But the other 2 groups I ran, they told me they liked it. So, and I felt like pretty good about those, but like I'm somehow still focusing on the one group that went bad, even though I didn't plan for that. It wasn't my topic. I wasn't really prepared. Like, I wasn't even planning on being there for that group. And
yeah, it was totally unexpected for you.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm focusing so much on the fact that I felt like it didn't go well, rather than the fact that I actually went through and did it.
Yeah, it was your first time.
Yeah, second time.
Oh, but your second time.
But it was the same day. So, yeah, because I
really like the credit that you're giving yourself now.
Yeah. Well, now that I've written it out, like I can kind of see where I'm going wrong with my thoughts.
So, what do you want to do for the next time we see each other? Did you want to collaborate another thought log by yourself? Did you want to work on your relaxation techniques? Did you want to do some journaling? What do you think would be most helpful?
I think keeping the log every time, even for other things besides running group, every time I have like a negative thought, just because I feel like I'm having a lot of negative thoughts that I'm not even realizing, and that's probably what's making my mood bad. But the relaxation too would definitely be really helpful.
Okay. Well, if you could fill out 5 events of this before our next session in 2 weeks, and then just try and have a memory bank of you using the relaxation techniques before, whether it's going to bed, or maybe if you think that it would be helpful before your group, doing that. And we'll see how your 2 weeks before you come back go.
Okay. Yep, that sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you.